So, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another video. And tonight I've got Rolly. Rolly, what's going on, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Just getting over the end of a cold, but nothing serious. So, yeah,
Cool.
looking forward to Wolves on Sunday.
Yeah,
So get out of our scoring rut
yeah, man.
and make a challenge for top four.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Yeah, so you never know, we never know. So guys, you know what to do, man. Just give it a like, hit the subscribe button as well if you're new. If you like to super chat us, then you know exactly what to do. And if you like to become a member, it's just 99p. So yeah, we're gonna discuss Callum Wilson and on why he's not performing and why also he's scored 1 goal, 1 assist, and that's in 3 months, by the way. And that record is not good enough. Now, before people jump on this and Rolly, right, or me mates, right, we're not getting at Callum. I like Callum. He's a fan favourite to me. I think he's a great player. However, his form of late in the last 3 months has not been good enough. Yeah, and I'm being real. And I'm not going to flip. I'm not going to flop. I'm not going to pretend that I'm sticking up for someone. I'm just calling it out and say it like it is. Yeah, it's as simple as that. That is what we're discussing. Yeah, that's not having a go, not being negative. We are being honest. It's as simple as that. We don't have a go at players. We don't abuse players. We are talking about a player who is completely off the pace, off target, and also not playing well at all. That miss on Saturday was just, to me, that the guys lack confidence. So if we go through the comments, by the way, before we get rolling on as well, and do subscribe. We've got extension as well. Extentation. I to you, first time, please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you do. We need to calm down with claims like this. Like I said, mate, we're not having a go. We're discussing about him, of why he's not producing. And that's not being negative. We just said it how it is. I'm sorry, but as a fan base, we are fickle as Man United, Evans, Sut, Botman, Trippier, and Bruno. Let's be real that, okay? We praise the player when they play well. If they don't perform, then we have to chat about it, okay? It's not just us fans. It's Man United, also AFTV, Lee Gunner. He speaks and says how it is. Lottie's going to join us on Wednesday. She says how it is as well. So we're not having a go, people. We've got to discuss it.
I think it's reacting to the title of the podcast is Callum Wilson.
Newcastle United.
Newcastle United. It's a question, not a statement.
It's a question,
not a statement. It's one that hopefully we'll answer. It doesn't put a time scale on it. It's saying, right, is it now? Is he done now? Obviously, the answer is no. But there is a problem with Callum Wilson at the moment in front of goal. Not all of it's his fault.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's in the run where he hasn't scored, though we've been creating chances, precious few of them have been coming to him. But when he's had the chances, it's not been good enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
When I say not been good enough, he's fallen well below the standards we expect of what he normally is. You notice when a goal scorer has a drought because he hasn't scored for ages. Even the best strikers have goal droughts. I remember in the lead up to Euro '96, Shearer hadn't scored in about 10 internationals, and then ended up golden boot at the tournament. So even the great Alan Shearer has goal droughts. It happens to strikers, but I think there's a little bit more to it than just a goal drought with Callum. I think there are other issues other than confidence that has hampered him.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but I mean, I'll go on performances and by form as well. But the last 2 games, in my opinion, he's been way off the pace. Absolutely. I want him to be back to the Callum Wilson I know. I want him to score another 8 goals to make it 15 goals for the season. He scored 7. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, I hope he comes back. I wish him well. I wish he comes back. And yeah,
I think it's a combination, right? He got that hamstring injury where he missed a couple of games. When he came back from the World Cup, he had a bit of a hamstring issue at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And then he had the illness. And I think those have hampered his performances. I don't know where he is now with regard to the illness or the fitness. He's played in the last couple of games and just hasn't looked himself. The Callum Wilson from before the World Cup buries that chance against Man City. Yeah, there's no way he misses that, but he did. There's some hard decisions need to be made by Eddie up front, not just Callum. Because we need to find a solution to the lack of goals, because the chances are still there. Against Man City, we had 4 or 5 shots on target.
We had 3 great chances there.
Yeah. I mean,
Callum, Sean, and Joe Linton.
Yeah. I mean, Sean was the hardest of the lot because it just wouldn't come down for him. Because he's doing what a decent finisher will do. You wait for the ball to come down, because if you hit it too high, it's going over the crossbar. It's something which he's been guilty of. Aki recovered well to get the block in. Joe Linton should bury that, and so should Callum.
Absolutely.
And it's those fine margins that have been costing us points.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're missing so many chances. That's the thing. We're not taking the chances. We're not shooting for long range as well. That's the problem. If we can shoot for long range, then he might get somewhere. Look at Reece Nelson. That shot he had, 30-yard shoot, all and out. That shot. We want to see more shots like from our players, the way Reece Nelson's done as well.
It's almost like they want to get too close to make sure they can get a good strike on goal rather than having a pop. And that may be a bit of anxiety because we're not scoring. A little bit of lack of confidence. We want to get this a little bit closer rather than when we're scoring freely. So Miggy was hitting them from outside the box. Bruno was hitting them. There are a few players that would have a dig from outside the box, but now they don't tend to be.
Yeah, that's true. We'll come on to Niggy as well later on. I'll go through some comments, really fast. Okay, please keep those comments coming in. Hit the likes as well. 34 people watching live, which is really good. Thank you very much indeed. I'll read out the Twitter comments first. Got one from Mark Roche. Big up to you, Mark. Of course, he isn't finished. He's just out of form at the minute. He's at least just needs a few starts. Wilson's a very good striker who's unfortunately out of form. That's for the last 3 months. 1 goal, 1 assist for the last 3 months. Not good enough. And Danny, NUFC, is saying, geez, no, he just needs the rest all and out with some of you lot. Well, Danny, we've got to discuss it. We cannot let it go. It's simple as that. And all of the YouTubes as well talk about their own players have not been on form as well. Big up to Jules, by the way. Hope you're okay, my guy. And hope you had a good day in Norway. Even to Matty Mags, I hope you're okay. I haven't heard from you for a long time. Big up to you. And Jules said, Russell needs to be a sub for some games. He hasn't been on par for 12, 14 games, so he could recapture, in my opinion. That's from Jules. And big up to Mason. He never even mentioned Man United. He is learning. Big up to Mason, by the way. Hope you can do subscribe to Mason's football chat.
Hi, Charles.
Well. Big up to Andrew DB. Happy Monday to you as well. And even to everybody. Everyone said, hey, Mag. Good evening. All of John, of course. Gary D. I'm going to call him Gary D for now. He's a top guy. I'd love to meet him as well, whether it be at a match or for a drink. And Gary, next time at Newcastle, guy for a drink, my guy. And got one for Andrew DB. Wilson's done. It's months ago. What do you mean Wilson's done? It's months ago. Okay, cool. Big up to Ches, by the way. Hi to you. It seems age and injuries might be catch up with Wilson. Hope not, though. Do you think that could be the case?
Age, I don't think is a problem, because what's he, 30?
31.
31. So he's just coming off his peak. only just. So there's no reason why age is an issue. But the big issue with Callum Wilson is and always has been injuries.
Yeah.
Did he come back too quickly after his last hamstring injury? Did he come back too quickly after his illness? We don't know, but I don't think age is an issue. Injuries, but when you look at him this season, he hasn't been as injured as he was last season.
Yeah.
But his performances of late haven't been of the standard that we expect of him. And I'm sure he feels the same as well. Well, I'm guessing there, but
yeah.
You look at, I think a case in point of his standards is the game against West Ham. Longstaff plays him through in the 3rd minute and he slams it home. Then he gets another through ball later in the game. I think it was Anthony Gordon plays him through.
Yeah.
You think this is hitting the back of the net. And yet he doesn't pull the trigger until Agar comes in and makes a superb tackle.
I'll be honest, that was a cracking tackle. You're right. It was a
cracking tackle. You'd expect him to take the shot earlier, or at least move back across him so he can't tackle him.
Yeah,
because it's not as if Wilson can only use one foot when he strikes.
That is the thing. That's the thing.
So he's got. When I say a mental issue, maybe he's just got a scoring block or something. So a bit like writer's block sort of thing. But it's the sort of thing that I think is the sort of player that I still got a feeling he's going to start on Sunday. But if he gets a couple of goals, that'll kickstart him. Because the goal scorers thrive on goals.
True. Listen, if he does play, then I'll root for this guy. I'm definitely going to back this guy. But for me, a lot of people saying Eddie's a bit too loyal to some of his players. So we've got him to comment out later on in your opinion.
All managers are loyal to players. The players that have got them where they are.
Fair comment. Fair enough. I got one from a Twitter message from Rich Palace. He said, John, send him to Crystal Palace on a 3-month loan deal. We need a striker. He's asking for Callum Wilson to go to Crystal Palace. That's Rich from Eagle Eye Football. Do follow his channel, by the way. This guy is absolutely good. That's a WhatsApp message, by the way. We'll go for some more comments, by the way. Keep them coming, please. 40 people watching live. Thanks so much. Big up to each and every one of you people. And smash the likes as well. Also, super chats open. Also, members open. And stick a like on. Thank you very much indeed. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Good evening, John, Roland, chatters. Hope you're all. Jules, share the love to Jules, by the way. Hope you're okay. And Effie, say hi to everybody else. We got the Carlos as well. And Wilson's finish. And evening to you, Rolly. So Mighty Mag.
I don't think he's finished, but
all about opinions there. For me, I think he's a bench player for next season. That's my opinion.
Next season, maybe.
Yes.
We've got to see what Eddie does in the remainder of this season, whether he will drop him. There's some difficult questions that Eddie needs to solve. Midfield is one, but he's been helped with his selection because of Joe Linton's suspension, so that picks itself. It's the front three. Who does he go with? Is he going to stay loyal to Miggy, or is he going to drop him because he's not been great? The work rate is there, it always is, but the production has gone. Would he play ASM? Would he play Gordon? And I think that even Jacob Murphy has actually thrown his hat into the ring after the last couple of performances he's had off the bench. So,
yeah.
I mean, the other thing when it comes to team selection, Eddie always says that I don't make my team decision until we've done all the training for the week. And I see how people have trained. Now, maybe Wilson is sort of like just shining like a beacon during training, which gets in the nod over Isak. And when it comes to the game time, it's just not there. It's how long he sticks with it.
It is, yeah. True. Fair comment there. I got one for Alan Dormand, right? He's on Twitter about Wilson. He said, and I will read that as well. What's the FUCK? Is this a boot? He was at the World Cup 4 months ago, and now we're asking if he is finished. Ridiculous, Alan. It's a debate, mate. Yeah, it is a debate, and we have to discuss him. What is to do? Just keep our mouth shut. Really? We got to speak about this, pal. Do you know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be a different opinion, right? My opinion is, right, he's still a good player, but in my opinion, we need a number 9 in the summer. He's going to bag some scores, and he'd be a bench player for me. 1 goal, 1 assist, and in 3 months. That is not a good record, mate. Yeah, Isak does more than him, by the way, right? And he moves. He does a lot more than Callum Wilson, right? But at the end of the day, we're talking about recent form, yeah? I'll ask you a question, Alan. Are you happy with his form? Yes or no? And I tell you what, I wouldn't be happy at all, but I'm a fan of him. But Eddie needs to change up top. It's as simple as that. Just my opinion.
I think the other thing...
Just a thing, right? I mean, I'm not being funny, right? But people just jump on you for no reason at all. Do you know what I mean? And
I think it's people are reacting to the podcast title. Is Callum Wilson done? That's the hook to get people to watch and contribute with their opinions. It's not saying he is done.
Yeah,
it's a way of starting a debate on Callum Wilson. I mean, my opinion is he's not done. I have a feeling he will start on Sunday. Do I want him to start? That's a different question. I think Isak deserves a start because he brings a different problem to the game for the other side, especially when he's playing with Maxi. I think they work really well together. So again, it's a lot of how Eddie wants to play as well. Does he feel that they can do that high press with better with Wilson than they can with Isak?
Yeah.
And they're 2 very different players as well. So maybe he's looking at, you never know, maybe looking at a way to play them both together. Because obviously against City, had that run where he got it to the byline, kept it, and then got the cross in. And there wasn't really anyone in there to get on the end of it. So maybe they're working on playing them. Eddie might surprise us on Sunday, and we start with Isak and Wilson.
Yeah. So either play a back 3, 3-4-3.
No, it's not going to change. He's not going to. He's not going to change.
3-4-4-2. Sorry.
It's not going to change the. He's not going to change the formation.
No, he won't. He won't change formation. Definitely not. No. I hope he keeps it. I hope he keeps it to 4-3-3, and got one for NUFC #NUFC saying that's the Sierra once when 10 games and 10 games and was he finished? No, he wasn't. But end of the day, right? I mean, we want to get into Europe this season, yeah, and we need to go some more striker. I say it again. I'm a fan of Callum Wilson, right? But next season, in my opinion, it'll probably be a bench player. But I would back him all the way as long as he plays. But I'm worried about his form.
Yeah, I mean,
and go on, mate.
Don't forget, people say form is temporary, class is permanent. He's got the cars. It's just his form is just out of form. We've got a couple of games that are winnable, and that we potentially could win by a lot. And these are the sort of games that I got a feeling Eddie will play him to think, well, if he gets a couple of goals in the Wolves game, that will kickstart him again. But that's why I think that he'll start with Callum.
Yeah.
Next season, it will all depend on who we buy and how Isak's progressed.
Absolutely. We have to wait and see there. We've got to wait and see who's comes in. I know a strike's going to come in, I'm sure, but I'm not going to mention his name. It could be anyone. We leave that to Eddie, my guy. So, congratulations. Yeah, go on.
That's what I kind of say. Well, I mean, it depends who we bring in. If we bring in another striker, the extra competition might spur him on, and he still might be the #1 striker. You don't know. We'll buy someone in, and I think we're gonna have quite a few people coming in and quite a few out in the summer. I reckon we'll sign 5 to 6 players, one of which I expect to be a striker.
Yeah, we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Who's going to be? I just hope it's fit to Osman. I can't see it, by the way. Got one Commons Carlos. Congratulations for being a granddad, by the way. Big up to you, my guy. Congratulations to you, mate. And make sure it's not hard work for you, but I'm sure you're a family guy and top guy for Carlos. I hope you're okay, mate. And for life comments as well. Wilson isn't done, just hasn't started after the World Cup yet. I think I read that.
Yeah.
Saying congrats as well. And Mark OT, I was finished with Wilson after this lame excuse not to play against Bournemouth and Trips. Form has to be called out as well. He wasn't very good on Saturday, and I will say that as well. But look, at the end of the day, right, if he's injured, you've got to trust the player. It's as simple as that. And it's what it is. But each to their own, mate. Each to their own. And he's only 46 years old. Carlos, good man. Another 18-year Carlos. Evening to Alan Little. Big up to you, Alan. Hope you're okay. And Jesse's chatting to Carlos. True efforts and tools. Appetite was always majority of goals against Newcastle since the World Cup. Trips mistakes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm going to be honest. Tripp, he did have a good game Saturday. I can't even lie. I like coffee. How's you, mate? Hope you're okay. He's a big fan of my channel, by the way. Big up to I Like Coffee. Get vitamin Ches. And let's have a look. And this is as well. And I've got one from Isak missed 2. Look, Isak needs to run the games. He needs a run of games. And this is why I would definitely have him on up front straight away. Newcastle United fans criticise Willock, but saying now about Wilson and Trips, Willock has become an easy target. This is the thing, right? I mean, I've always said, Rolling, I would place a player when they do well, and I will say they play poorly if they play poorly. It's as simple as that to me. I've got to be honest with yourself. I've got to be real, and you just got to be honest. But we're serious happy for Carlos. Everyone loves Carlos, don't they? Still in shock, Jules. Carlos, listen, you're doing grand, mate. Good evening, John and Tony. It's Rolly, by the way. He's called you Tony there. We really need to start scoring some goals. Bless him. The Man U jokes are hilarious. The 7-up one is class, wasn't it? Had a friend who came down at 43, but yeah, guess who will be? That's some tools. For me, Wilson has to go in the summer. He is not good enough for our next level. We need 2 strikers in the summer. Yeah. 1 for the first team, 1 for cover.
I disagree with you totally there. I couldn't disagree with you more. He'll be here next season. He may even start possibly on the bench. He will play a significant role in the team next season. He's not going to be sold.
Squad player. I keep us a squad player
for months. They're players that we need to get rid of before we start talking about the likes of Wilson.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, by the way, I just want to say something about Ginger as well. And he's making several accounts, right? And I tell you what, whoever it was had a dig at Tony last night. That's unacceptable on my channel, right? If you upset Tony, it just go for you as well. So, like I said, whether it's Ginger or whoever's behind that accounts, just back off, okay? I will be honest. Big up to Paul, by the way. Too many fans are twisting and forgetting we are 6th in the table. We're overachieving with the squad. Some fans need to get real. We still need a lot of quality added to the squad. I agree with you, adding a lot of quality to the squad, Paul. But at the end of the day, when you're a main striker, where you only score 1 goal in 3 months, then that is a problem. It needs to be discussed. And everyone saying hi to Matty Mags. Hi to Yan. For me, he should have been benched 3 weeks ago. That is Yan. 3 weeks ago. I mean, for me personally, I would have. I know Eddie would probably start with Callum up front on Saturday, and also as well that people say Isak. I want Isak to start, man. I want Isak to start the games. Like you saying that Eddie's going to go with Callum, so we'll see.
Well, that's what I think. I'd like Isak to start, but I just think that he'll go with Callum. It's just the feeling I get. I would like Isak to start with Maxi up front. But I don't think it will happen. But we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. We will. And the got to choose as well. Are you okay, John? The loss yesterday must have stung. One of them said yesterday that I must have crept out the stadium very quickly. Listen, there you go. Donna's ass is finished. Yep, that's the one. But what it is, right? I mean, I don't think he's done. But he'll definitely be a squad player. I got him for Steve Bands. Big up to Steve. I don't think he is, but he's a great striker and is having a bad patch. He needs to stay fit and get his confidence back, in my opinion. That's from Steve on a DM as well. Thank you for your contribution, Stephen. And big up to Gary D again. John, don't live Newcastle, live in Nottingham. Shit, Nottingham, mate. I apologise, mate. I thought you lift up the Newcastle. I do apologise. And I got obviously super guys. Thank you, Clarky. I hope you're okay, mate. And lads, do you think Eddie will play Wilson against Wolves? In my opinion, Alan, I think he will. In my opinion. And Clark said no chance. And got on from David. Now pick up the David. We have so much quality up front. I think you should change to 4-2-3-1 with Maxi on the left, Gordon on the right, Miggy on the 10 years up top. Goals. David, I see where you're coming from. I love your formation, my guy. But I don't think Edge's going to play a 4-2-3-1. I just don't think you'll let me be banned.
I do like that.
I do like it.
And I think the problem with the 4-2-3-1 is the getting overrun in midfield. Because you've got all the attacking players. You're looking at Bruno and probably Joe Linton playing defensively. And I don't think they're the right players. I know Bruno can do it, but Joe Linton's he does the dirty work, but he does like to get forward.
Yeah.
I don't think if you wanted to play that formation, you're looking at probably having Bruno with Longstaff, but you don't want to leave J7 out. So, I just can't. I don't think we've got the right personnel for that formation.
That's the thing. You're going to play 4-2-3, we've got to play Jordan as one of them. Mm-hmm.
If we had two class CDMs, well, Bruno can play there, but if we had, for example, Edison Alvarez or Manu Kone or Declan Rice, you can afford to have just two in the two defensive midfielders and then let everyone else be attacking. But we haven't got two quality CDMs. So that's the only. I mean, I like the formation and what it does up top, but I don't think we've got the personnel to play it properly.
Yeah, that's the true facts as well. But we definitely need a CDM in the summer, 110%. That's what we need, a quality CDM. And if you get a quality CDM like Edson Alvarez from Ajax or Corney from Mönchengladbach, you get one of them, will be absolutely fine. And that's sort of problems we definitely going to go on phase 2 in the summer, 100% there. They made that clear. And I'm sure Dan Ashworth is working his magic behind the scenes. We'll see. Wilson needs an injury or 3 to have a good season, and that's scary, to be fair. That's some truths. I think Wilson's better when he's running on the balls and not stuff coming from the wings. And I've got Marco Allen. He will play Wilson, and that's Eddie's biggest weakness, and that's favoritism. Let's go through some comments. Isak will start. Now the big game's on. All that, you know what? I've always championed for Alex to start first. Do you think Wilson's not running at full speed in case he gets an injury again? What do you think of that one, Rawley?
It's hard to tell.
Good question.
It is hard to tell because people that have hamstring injuries tend to be sort of wary of them when they come back. It may be. I don't know. It's just something that I've no idea. But it is possible.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, no one knows, but Eddie sees him in training, so he's got to know about it. But yeah, again, who knows? We don't know that. He sticks with trusted players in the big games. That's a Clarkey. We need to, in the summer, as I read earlier, that we'll line up a bit with Vjalovic. I tell you what, if you get Vjalovic at Newcastle, that will sort our problems. He's a fantastic player. Left-footed, holds balls up well, links up the play, breaks between the lines. That guy is absolutely fantastic. He's only 23 years of age. Evening, Leslie.
Evening, Leslie.
She's on and says share the socials as well. You say share the socials as well. And that's what I love. Catchword, catch VS as well. Didn't no one shake their heads in disbelief? Wilson's excuse not to play against Bournemouth. That's new. I mean, I also thought he was injured, but obviously, I think different there as well. F is saying hi to Les. And let's have a look at some more comments. I thought I got a donation there as well, but I believe it's from Truls. I'll just get that confirmed. And Murphy as an impact sub. He don't play well as a starter. We didn't love. I'm going to comment on that question as well. I get a lot of people saying that Murphy should start over Miggy.
Well, he's making the argument for that with his substitute appearances because he's been good when he's come on. But whether he's just, as Trolls said, is he better just as an impact sub than starting? Maybe. But when he's come on in the last couple of games, like against City and in the final, he's played well, which is all you can ask. I think he's playing well enough that he shouldn't be in the conversation to go in the summer as a depth player.
Yeah, it's a fair comment. Fair comment there. You know what it is, right? I mean, Jacob Murphy, to be fair, I've been quite harsh on him in the past. But at the end of the day, he's a squad player and maybe he needs to go past his new. But I'll go with you, Rolly. I can't see Eddie selling him in the summer. I think he'll stay in the summer because he's got a canny whack as well. But we'll see what happens on the summer. Things change in football. Yeah. Eddie needs to make some change in the game a lot earlier than 60 minutes. Yeah, I can see that as well. Gary, he's doing it after 60 minutes there as well.
It all depends on the game situation.
Yeah.
Because in the cup final, they made a change at half time. But if you're playing well and you're not sort of like 2 goals down, you see if you can turn it round. If you make it 60 minutes, you're still giving them half an hour to get into the game and try and make a difference. So I would be questioning it more if he was making the substitutions at 70 minutes than 60. Again, it depends on the game situation, but I don't think 60 is about right for me.
Yeah, 60 is about right, and then you've got more time for the players to turn the game on. Yeah. Big up to Paul, by the way. With Wilson's, it could be confidence thing, as well. I can imagine the shite fan sends them abuse on social media. One thing I will not condone is abuse on social media. I will not accept that at all whatsoever. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, Paul, mate. But at the end of the day, right, if they go on abusing players on social media, in my opinion, they're not football fans. They're not Newcastle fans. That's one thing you never, ever do, abuse the fans. Otherwise, you have egg on your face. Big up to David, by the way. Hope you hear me. We need to probably have more shots. They'll drop to right up. Thank you, David. Rolly, need to take more shots, mate.
Yeah, we do need to. He does need to take more shots, but again, he's got to be in the position where he can take the shots. I mean, part of the problem with his goal drag is that in some of the games when we've had the chances, they've not fallen to him. Right, he's missed some as well, but there been games where the chances of everyone's giving Sean Longstaff a lot of stick and Callum Wilson, not Callum Wilson, Joe Linton a lot of stick for missing chances and skying them. And those are all chances for, we should come to Wilson, but they didn't. there is something not right with him at the moment, in my opinion. I'm not sure what it is, but he doesn't seem to be getting the chances. Is that because he's not gambling in the box, or I don't know. I really don't know what the issue is, because we know that he's a good finisher. We've seen it. We've seen it this season. He just needs to get that form back. That's why it's a shame he didn't get that second one against West Ham, because that would have put him on. He either needs to get a couple in one game or score on Sunday against Wolves and then against Forest the following week, so he gets a bit of rhythm to it. But maybe taking more shots, but he's got to get the ball in a position where he can take a shot.
Yeah, if you can take more shots, then who knows? I want to see his own flying in the back of the net. Could we just get Reece Nelson on loan from Arsenal? That'd be fantastic. I doubt it. ASM said he loved Booston turned up to Newcastle training. Wow.
That's probably why he loved him.
He only turns up twice a week, you know. He only trains twice a week, Bruce.
He loved Bruce because he didn't turn up for training, so that they actually got some proper training rather than when he was there.
Yeah. Wow. That's all it is. You know what? Let's be real on that one as well. I agree with the guest, Chad and Booth. That's a marker. That's Wilson and Isak up top. At home, how should try Isak, Wilson, ASM? That'd be my choice. That'd be my front three, by the way. I can't lie, but Eddie would probably think different. I think Wilson's motivation went as soon as he's playing World Cup. He achieved his Fowler dream, but that is only my opinion. That's from Paul. So Paul's got an opinion there, by the way. Big up to Paul. It's not just Wilson's form, it's his overall contribution. Since November, he's been a passenger. Wood was pressing harder than Wilson is. We can't afford to carry passengers. That is the thing. Not really going for a top four place. I know people are going to say, what's Toon talking about? We're not going to get top four with the squad. We still got 2 games. Do you think, in your opinion, Rory, right, we've got 2 games in hand, right? We're not ready for the Champions League. Do you think we should just go for it? Just win as much games as possible? And
we've got to go for it. Because if you think, we're not going to, if we don't go for it, or you think we're not going to make it, what's the point of turning up? You've got to aim high, but also be realistic in what you can achieve. My prediction for our finishing this season was somewhere between 8th and 6th. We're still on course to do that, and possibly better. We're a point behind Liverpool, I believe, with a game in hand.
We've got a game in hand over Liverpool.
And 4 points behind Spurs with 2 games in hand.
And so it's got to come to us yet. Yeah.
Now, if we can get our form back in front of goal, it's in our hands. We can. If we can get our form back, there's no reason we can't go on like another run like we did in October, where we were sort of bashing people every week. We're in a slump. I'm sure the guys are working hard to turn it round. I mean, it's like the game on Saturday. It just seemed that every time the ball broke in the box or in midfield where it went loose, it always went to a City player. When they were defending and the ball went loose, it always went to a City player. It's just maybe it's because we're not quite positive enough in the box.
Yeah.
So you make your own luck. Maybe someone gambles that it's going to come loose, or gambles that the ball's going to get past the defender. We might get there, but there's a lot of football to be played. They're saying Liverpool are back, but I just wish Man United had defended like that in the cup final rather than last night, because we would have won. They were awful in the second half. They were awful.
Really, if we play to our best, right, on April the 2nd, right, and we score goals, we'll probably win that game. Because there's one team I want to beat for now at the end of the season, is Man United. I hope we absolutely smash them. I really, really do.
If we get our form back, maybe we can.
Absolutely. We'd be right in the title race. We'd be right in the title, top four. Not the title race, top four, sorry. Right in the top four. But I tell you what, right? I mean, it's belief. Because other teams gives it a right go. We should give it a right go as well. You know what I mean? But look, we see what happens. We might get all the players.
I think another problem that we've had is that when we've been playing the Crystal Palaces of this world, they've not really been attacking us. They've just been defending deep.
Yeah.
We haven't figured a way to break that down. Maybe that is having more shots from distance so they can't drop so deep. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. But it's, I mean, in the cup final when they're 2-0 up in the second half, they just brought defensive players on to break us down and see if we can. And we couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you've got to play our own game and then answer our own question, score the back of the net. 47 people watching, by the way. Thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate it, guys. And big up to each and every one of you yet again. Do smash the likes. If you're new to the channel, you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. And also, if you like the super chat, then that will be amazing. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. Never change the back line format this season until he more ball players. Miss out on Jules. So can't play wasn't easy from the start. Now Wood has gone as we need a striker on the bench. Absolutely. And we've got one from Jan as well. We got to Jan. I will play ASM as forward. And Gordon left Isak behind and ASM and Miggy on the right rest of the season for me. And Jules, thank you so much for your super chat as well, my guy. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. And yeah, thank you so much. And I really appreciate that. Alan, for me, playing Wilson and Isak together is too risky in case one gets it. I think I've read that as well. Burn's been found out, so move Burn back to his natural position. Really, I want to talk about Dan Burn as well. Look, he's done well left back, does the job, but he is now being found out. I mean, Anthony, Forden.
Well, I did Anthony a couple of times. He didn't. He took the piss one time where he's being a little git, but most of the game he was controlled. Teams are attacking Dan Burn more because of his lack of pace, or rather his turning circle, and the time it takes for him to get those long legs going. He played left back at Brighton. His move there because of Target's injury.
Yeah.
He played well, kept him out of the team. Now his form's dropped. Target's been injured. Target, well, it's played, was it 3 or 4 minutes on Saturday. So he's getting back to that match fitness. When he's fully fit, there is a strong argument to start him rather than Dan Burn, because he gives you that more attacking flair. He will go past the fullback regularly, and he can cross a decent ball. Where big Dan Burn, he'll get past the winger, but this ball in is, I can't put a ball in. If Matt Target is fully fit, I'd be tempted to start him on Sunday. I think that if Fabian Schär isn't fit, I think Jamal Lascelles played well enough on Saturday to keep this place as centre half, and Dan goes on the bench.
Yeah.
Because I mean, everyone was thinking, when we saw the team sheet, Lascelles is starting, we're going to get mullered by them. And
Yeah.
Haaland has, I haven't seen him that quiet. He had one header in the game where it's dangerous, and basically everywhere else we tried. He normally bullied centre halves, but he got bullied for a change.
Absolutely. I thought that Sells had a good game, to be fair. I mean, he had 2 chances. One of them, he had to pass the post, and he also had a chance as well when he followed it over from about 10 yards, which is just over the bar as well. It's a cracking effort from an impossible angle, going to the top corner and only just missed. But that's a cracking effort by Haaland.
But Jamal kept him quiet for most of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The biggest problem with Lascelles isn't his defending, is his distribution of the ball.
That's absolutely. That's his problem.
Yeah, because he's not the greatest of defenders, but he's a Premier League quality centre half. He's not going to start regularly in a team that is challenging for top 4, which is why he's not started regularly for us, because that's what we are. But once you get down to the Crystal Palaces of the world and below that, he could go into their teams and be their best centre half.
Yeah. True. Fair comment there. Just go through his comments as well. There's quite a few. Wilson has done, because he's had a first poor moment in Newcastle's career. Nonsense for me. That's some Foxy. Wilson's stood back up, which I agree to have at the club next season at least. And Leslie as well commented a bit. ASM's a target for our club, has been for a long time. That's some truths. And good for supporting up-and-coming young strikers as well. That's from Leslie as well. And for me, Gary said, I thought it might kickstart him when he got that goal against West Ham, but that must have been one-off, as he's not found the back of the net since, lads. Yeah, that is true.
Was he injured for the next game after that? Didn't we play Bournemouth after that?
He didn't play against Bournemouth for me. He was injured.
He was injured. Not apparently, he was injured. Eddie said he was injured, so I believe it.
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, when he was on the pitch, I support Callum all the way, but he missed some goals. Cool, we'll be back. I mean, let's hope so. Cool, we'll be back out on loan, according to Paul. And of course, they'll be back. John, Chairs, and Mods are on it. I have no fear. Thank you very much, Jules. Thank you. Gareth, sorry, Rory. Apologise to me, Gareth, as well. Watching too many Toon shows, realised too late, silly me. Gareth. Look at a notification bell, mate, and you'll be on live.
How many Toon shows is too many?
Exactly, man. I love Gav, by the way. He's a top Welsh guy, top Welsh guy as well, and from Cardiff. And remember, the best of them, or Shearer had goal droughts. That's true. That is true. Very, very true. No one should be immune to criticism. John has the right to his opinion. Thank you, Marco. Thank you. Thank you. Our worst performance of the season was Bournemouth away, and Wilson didn't even play in that. It's fair to criticise his performance, but to say he's now uses or finishes unfair deserves better. Foxy, I put the question out there, mate, right? For me, in my opinion, if you ask if he's finished, my answer to that question is no. But next season, he'd be a bench player. He'd be in the squad as a bench player. I definitely want him to stay as a bench player. If Wilson starts next game and Eddie's got a big problem with himself and needs sorting, that's a Jan. Oh, Jan's going in. John, would you take him at Man U once Fake Horse goes back to Burnley? No, I would not. I wouldn't. Look, with Vigos, he's too slow.
John,
right?
John,
Go on.
You shouldn't answer that question because you're not a Man U fan.
Exactly. But what I think he's trying to say is, would I take Vigos to Newcastle? That was no.
You fall into the trap every time. Or you asking about something to do with Man U, and you answer the question.
I know. I thought I misread the question. Would I take Vigos if he goes back to Burnley? I think when he went to Burnley, I misread the question. I do apologise. She went back in 12 games without scoring before Euros 96.
Yeah.
Off topic, did anyone see Bruno F go down like he's just been shot by a snobby yesterday? I tell you what, Bruno Fernandes is an utter disgrace. He's a cheat and he's making a fool of himself, yeah?
He's got on the chest and went down close, clutching his face.
Yeah, he should have got a 3-game ban for that tackle as well, by the way.
Yeah, but he plays for Man United, so they get away with everything.
Every single time. Yeah, our Bruno gets sent off for that. Did you know that Alcatraz tackle for Southampton? Carlos Alcatraz, that tackle.
Yeah.
When Span got his foot, that should have gone straight to face. That's shocking. That's one of the worst tackles of the season. And not in VR chat out. Not VR, even check it out. I don't know. VAR, let's be real. They just scrap it because I don't know what it is anymore. Let's have a look. If we have seen achieved the season 4th place, where would you be happy in the league this season? If we have seen achievement?
I mean, I said before the season starts between 8th to 6th, and I think that. I mean, I don't want to be as low as 8th, but I think 6th. I'd be happy with 6th. I think that's achievable.
Yeah, definitely achievable. I agree. If we beat Wolves, as far as a Man United, we could go above Man United if they failed to beat Southampton on the weekend. Man U only have Southampton in the league because of the FA Cup as well. So we have got to beat Wolves. We got to beat Forest. They're 2 winnable games, right? 2 winnable games. And then we got the big one as well. That could be a Champions League playoff as well. That could be, because I don't think Spurs will make it, to be fair. Losing to Wolves as well. So, looking Europe would be a failure for me. That's some choice.
It'd be disappointing because of the season that we've had. But I don't think I don't think that we won't qualify for Europe. Don't forget that you've got the top 4 go to the Champions League. Next 2 go into the Europa League. Then 7th goes into the conference. But the winner of the Carabao Cup gets a European place. But as Man United are going to qualify for Europe anyway, that goes into the league. So 8th place would get us into Europe.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Don't want to finish 8th.
Definitely not.
Disappointing after the season that we've had.
Exactly.
But that's only because we've had such a tremendous first part of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We improved, Tony. We improved, really. We improved this season a lot.
Yeah.
Look, we were 16 months ago, bottom. 16 months later, cup final and 6. Massive improvement. Massive improvement. Everyone's criticising Wood. And big up to Paul, by the way. Hope you're okay. Nunes had us class last night. Wow. Yeah. I still can't get 7-0, eh? Yeah. And Jules, the force of reason and front of non-knowledge. True. No trolls in the chat tonight. Hopefully you got the message. Just F off this little twat. Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much, and even to you, my guy. I watched your video this morning where you did that single location show at Berry Town. Lovely wee stadium. Big up. Do it every week, please. Do it every week. Your channel will go absolutely through the roof as well. Yeah, absolutely. Going from Paul, I don't care where you finish, to be fair. Last year is now 2 is fast. I don't think squad or management, owners, etc. are ready for European football as of yet.
Whether you're ready or not, here we come. And it just means that we've got to do more work in the summer. We've got the nucleus of a good squad. We've got a very good first team when they're on form. But the problem we've got is that when players come off form, we haven't got the strength to be able to necessarily pull them out and put someone else in. That's the difference between us and the likes of Arsenal, to a lesser extent, to a greater extent, Man City, Manchester United and Liverpool's of this world, the ones that have been playing European football for season after season after season. They have stronger squads. The depth of their squads is stronger, so that they can rotate players. We can't afford to rotate players much because we haven't got the quality to step in.
True. Got one from Ellie Spence, because Ellie as well. Please hit the subscribe button, please, Ellie. I think it's your first time live, and I hope you're okay. I hope your family are as well. I love these channels. If someone says something rude to someone that's ginger, yet there's no proof at all. It's him, gotta, exactly. It's got to be him. It's got to be him. Got a loved YouTube. Sorry, John, just catching up as I finish work. Ellie, thank you so much indeed. Like I said, hit the subscribe button, please. You are an amazing person. Thank you very much indeed. And remember, Murphy's a Toon fan. Yes, he is indeed. Yeah, he's chatting to Leslie. Murphy actually impressed me, to be fair, as our forwards can get behind the back line. Murphy's crosses could be lethal.
Yeah, he did play well.
Fully agree there. He did. Murphy, the greatest of all time, future Ballon d'Or winner, and Barcelona record signing in the summer. Love it. Bosh. And Longstaff has been terrible apart from Southampton in the cup game at St James's Park.
I totally disagree with you. I couldn't disagree with you more. If you've been watching me on John's show before, you'll know why I totally disagree with that.
Exactly. This is what I love to see. Just love to see. Banter. Jules, great with banter makes life more interesting. It does indeed. I've got one from Murphy to replace Rafinha at Barca. We've been linked to Rafinha, by the way. Let's be real, according to Spanish.
Maybe we'll do a swap.
Yes, please. I take it all day long. Got one here from Foxy again about Murphy. Great impact sub. Don't have it recently, but still lacks the quality to have a long-term future at the club. He's always disappointed when starting. Remember Sheffield Wednesday. That is true, Foxy.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair enough comment. He's absolutely right there. Maybe the abuse Aizen gets on social media has taken someone's confidence. Don't abuse any football players. That is not acceptable at all whatsoever. Why don't we start Isak as a winger like Thierry Henry? That's a fair shout there. Fair shout. I like him up front, by the way. Disgrace anyone who abuses a player and disgusting people who attacks you. If you have a different opinion, Marco, in my opinion, they're not Newcastle fans at all. They're just absolute trolls. We don't deserve our fan base at all. Not just Wilson, the team with shots as well. And thanks, Leslie, for helping the suit. And I really appreciate that. Thanks so much indeed for that. Didn't mind the end of an egg on their faces yesterday, lads. They did. And how long can Wilson start and not score before it's time to take Wilson off? That's a fair comment. Trippier and Burn and Miggy to start will need to be rested. And
Trippier won't be rested. Burn maybe if Target's fit.
Absolutely.
I would drop Miggy myself.
Yeah.
But I don't think Trippier will be dropped. He needs to get his set pieces back to the standard they were at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. He will not get the form back from me. Bench material from now on. He's talking about Wilson. I got attacked in the chat. Yes, you did, Tony. You did. And I'll tell you what, I will not condone anyone that attacks my podcasters, fellow podcasters, or me mates, right? If there's a problem, all right, then it'll be dealt with. You'll be blocked. And as far as I'm concerned, right, you're not Newcastle fans. Yeah. Trolls, we need to get rid of them ASAP. We do not need it on our socials at all whatsoever. And also, Macy got attacked yesterday again. So back off. Simple as that. Thanks for that, Tony, mate. And you don't deserve that, mate. We love you. Everyone loves the Zombie chat as well. Wilson's just been unlucky. It must be playing on his mind. So why is he trying to hide, in my opinion? That's in Davey. Do you think Wilson would benefit from a sports psychologist? That's from Leslie. Could be.
Could be.
I'll second that. Davey said, I think we have overachieved and expect too much.
That's possible. Because the expectations grow as the performances and the results get better. And you do tend to get carried away. So it's a bit of like a back to reality sort of feeling when the form goes. But the fact that we've been able to get to those heights means we can get back there.
Yeah, fair comment. The thing is with us, last season, we have always had a rough patch then. We went on a long unbeaten run. I think before the end of the season, we can go on another run. Let's hope that's the case. Yeah, we do finish the season well. We really do. Last season, we were fantastic. We all mind your good battering. Of course we do.
Yes, we do.
I hope you're right, Paul. I agree. and got one from JK. Europa League will be good. So 6th place finish will be realistic. We should be able to sign decent players in the summer to push on again next season. Jeff, that's a fantastic comment, by the way. Thank you. And please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can, mate. If you do, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much indeed. And clean slate against Wolves. That will be my message to the players on Sunday. They are not in a slump. We are just not playing with the right player, that's in Jan. And I didn't think we can get top 4 start of the season. Didn't think we could get top 4 when we were 3rd or 4th. I don't believe we get top 4 now. The squad is too weak. Can't handle injury suspensions, which is true. And Liverpool are on our case as well. We aren't ready for the Champions League. That's from Tony. He's been adamant and he's consistent as well. We can't afford to take a chance that Wilson might start goals again. He's cost 63 mil, so he needs to start, in my opinion. That's from Truls. We haven't got the players, Jan. Just go 5th, 6th, or 7th would be great. And he's Keith Fendi, thank you, Jules. Thank you for that. So I've got a price side where I see it for relegation. We are indeed. We got enough points now. Start playing for next year. Everyone saying hi to Sefton. Big up to Sefton Sunday. Who's, by the way, people? Sefton, man. Big up to him. Great website as well. Do check him out as well. Jan's chatting to Paul. Just look at it as well. And you Champions League give us better players, more revenue, and going out in the group stage wouldn't be that bad, in my opinion.
The thing about going at the Champions League that you forget is that if you come 3rd in your group, you drop into the Europa League. You don't go out of Europe completely.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. And you got another chance as well. So it's not too bad. Drop 3rd Europa League.
And you get that experience as well. And if you get out of the group, which is possible because you look at how the groups are, there are only so many big clubs you can be drawn in the groups. So more often than not, the English sides will either win or come 2nd in the group because the other teams aren't that great. It doesn't happen all the time, but you've got a good chance of qualifying. And the other thing, if we do qualify for the Champions League or any European competition, or even if we don't qualify for Europe, our squad will be a lot stronger than it is now because we're going to spend in the summer. So right now, we're not ready for the Champions League. If we qualify, you bet your bottom dollar they'll be spending the money to make sure that we are.
Exactly. If you don't get it this season, we'll have give it a right go next year. And don't forget to share the socials, just like Rawley does. Thank you, Rawley. And people, you need target to start games. Attacks are getting predictable on the right-hand side. Target can cross the ball, has more pace than Burn, and he needs to address this defo. That's from Jeffrey.
It all depends on how fit Target is. Exactly. He's just coming back from injury.
Exactly. And Paul, respect to John Rowley. Thank you, Paul. Thanks. Accepting your name too. And Mr. Football News, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. And share the love to you. I hope you're okay today, mate, and having a lovely day. Brentford 1, Fulham 0, by the way. Pinnock opened the scoring. So that's good news for us as well. If Fulham win, they'll be very close to us as well. Tiger Won't Start is not fully match fit as of yet.
That's what I think as well.
Yeah, that's what I think. Hi to Mr. Football News. And Tiger needs more than 5 minutes at the end of the game to get match sharp. That's from Les. And Efren saying hi to Tony. Would you take Jordi Alba from Barca? Wrong side of 30, but he's still decent. And just so you love, so full respect for Small and steak and chips to tea. I've had their yesterday's stag party. Warlas is an amazing man. Enjoys that party as well.
Sefton was allowed to go to the stag party because his missus is a red and Liverpool spanked Man United yesterday. So he's asked for everything.
Yes, that's no problem. Just on a message from Jules. A few people. Is it a message for? I had a message from David Huddard as well. He said Callum Wilson's not finished. congratulations on Bruno getting to North East Football Writers Player of the season. Yes, Bruno is the North East Football Player of the season. Well deserved. What a guy. He deserves it. And he loves the Newcastle United project as well. Yeah. And I tell you what, I hope he stays in Newcastle forever and forget about
I'm sure that he's going to enjoy the new contract that they'll offer him.
Absolutely. Make it the highest paid player, man. He's worth it. Every pen. We need Brentford and Fulham to draw it. I need also that's from Paul. Big up to Cal as well. Hi to Cal, mate. Hope you're okay. And before this comes well, which I think is absolutely fair. Brentford and Fulham coming on the pitch, yes, and Brentford are winning by a goal to nil. Liverpool gets top four, in my opinion. You've got City, Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool will get Europa, and that's from excuse me, Carl's comment.
Yeah, I mean, Carl's going to fall off his feet again because I'm probably going to agree with him on that. I must be feeling ill because I'm starting to agree with Kyle more and more.
Exactly. Yo, John, my guy, who you lads? Yo, to you, Stu. Hope you're okay. What's going on? What's going down, mate? Hope you're okay. Excuse me. Need to start getting results and not be playing pad. Start scoring goals, these chances. Got some big games coming up. Still a chance. Champions League.
Absolutely.
Aaron. Absolutely. And would you take Jordan Alba from Barcelona? Would you take Jordan Alba from Barcelona? I don't think you ever leave Barca. I think it's a lifer there.
I think he's a player that probably isn't on our radar. I mean, if they're going to give him to us on a free and he's going to take sensible wages, then yes.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. We'll see, but I don't think he'll leave Barca. And regardless where we finish, we can all be thankful we cannot get dragged into relegation spot, lads. That's in Gary. That's very, very true. West Ham, Leeds and Everton to get relegated, so Southampton, Bournemouth will be safe. I'm not sure about that.
I can't see that. I can't.
I think one of them will go. One of them will go.
Yeah, I hope it's Everton. I really do hope it's Everton. I think Southampton will go, and I do think Bournemouth will go, though I don't want them to.
Yeah, very interesting. I just don't think it'll go. I don't think he'll leave. Eddie Howe needs to leave in the summer. English managers have never won the Premier League. That's a bit strong. No, Eddie Howe has done an amazing job, mate. He's done an amazing job for Newcastle United. And there's no way. He's signed a long-term contract in early in the season. And he has done what he's done. He's got us up from the bottom. And 16 months later, he got us into a cup final and a top six. So I don't think he'll be going anytime soon, mate. And if he is going to go, who would you have? Who do you think's the right guy for Newcastle then? And just let me know.
He's not going, so...
No, Eddie's our king.
He doesn't need to answer that question.
Exactly. But, I respect your opinion, by the way. Even Wilson starts scoring. He should be backup player, injured too much. That's an Allen. And... let's have a look at this one as well. If a world-class manager showed interest in the team, would you stick or twist? For me, I'd TV it all day long. And got one from Jeff there as well. Hi, John, I'll subscribe, but I must not assured. Try again. Try again, man. Try again. And then go, mate. I've got one for a guy called Lee Aykroyd saying, and I tell you what, he comes strong on us. I don't really want to read it. He said, F off YouTube.
Don't read it. Don't read it if you don't want to.
He told us to F off YouTube, WANKERS. I'm not going to tell him I'm sure. That's all. Well, I tell you what, at the end of the day, right, the guy is I'm not going to waste me time on this guy. Seriously.
Don't read the stuff out. Just block him.
Exactly.
Just don't read them. He wants... by doing that, he just wants to get a reaction. So if you ignore him, he's just wasted his time. So don't read it out. Don't just block him, because we don't need to know that someone's having a go at us. Just forget him and just don't read it out.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, man. Please keep personal discussions. Absolutely right. Thank you, Jules, for that. Listen to Jules. And you're not get wrong. I like the Europa League. For us, it's a trophy. We can 100% win next season. Gives us great experience and stronger tournaments. West Ham struggling in the league, but blitzing in the Europa Conference. True. Jules, thanks a lot, mate. Thanks for helping us out. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much indeed. And Albert, no thanks. Grimaldo on a free would be the central option. Great attacking fullback. Great cross and another set piece option for Trippier. And that is Grimaldo. He is a very good player. He really, really is. Brendan Rodgers, the right man. I'm not sure. I don't think he'll leave Leicester. They could have sacked him, but he's still there. And how would we? No,
we don't want him. So you don't need to comment on that because we don't want him.
Yeah, true.
He's just playing with you, John.
Yeah, I listen. Everyone's got an opinion, but they're not always right. How we be given time or not everlasting is credit high May moment. And you know what it is, Alan? Eddie Howe, the job is his. Honestly wants it, mate. It's as simple as that. That guy, in future years will win us a title. And he'll be the first English manager for a while to do that. Was it? Since Alex Ferguson's a British, but English is Howard Wilkinson. I could be wrong on that.
I think was that before the Premier League started?
Yeah. 1992.
Yeah, that's before the Premier League started.
Yes. At the minute, that's from Alan Modson. Thank you, cheers. Thank you. Grimaldo scored against us in a friendly. Right, I think he did, Benfica. Yeah, he did. He did. And there's a Chelsea fan who wants Brendan Rodgers as the next manager. Would he take Mourinho? Probably not.
No,
probably not.
Why would he take Mourinho when we've got Eddie Howe?
Exactly.
We've got the manager that's perfect for us at the moment. So perfect, I don't know why people are asking us if we take this manager or that manager because we don't want them.
Exactly. I mean, there's a guy called Del Boy Gunnar. Great guy. Loved the guy, right? He's an Arsenal fan. He came to me show about just a year ago, and he said that you should get Diego Simeone as a manager, and he thinks Eddie Howe's not the right guy, but he might have changed his mind now. Compliments to the guest. That's a Marco. Marco used to say nice things about you, mate. If we don't, Saudis will replace. That's an Alan. And I love Josie, to be honest, but I wouldn't swap Howe for anyone at the minute. Foxy, I'm with you all the way, mate. Eddie Howe's done a wonderful, wonderful job. So we're going to wrap up there, guys. It's been a great show, I think, tonight. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right, I mean, my opinion, Callum Wilson, I wouldn't sell him, but it'd be good for the bench, in my opinion, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be sold, for one thing. We're going to spend in the summer. I think we'll bring another striker in, and he will have to fight for his place. He'll have to fight for his place, and if he starts banging the goals again, he'll be starting. If he doesn't, he'll be on the bench. Simples.
Thank you. Absolutely. Got one here from I Like Coffee. And you know what? I like him, but I've got a question. John, this Simeone, it's linked to Newcastle United. Would you stick with Howe? For me, I stick with Howe. But if you give us a choice and Diego Simeone rocket to my club, I have no problems with him at all whatsoever. Because that guy is a winner. He is absolutely brilliant. He's a winner. The trainer will be sick, and the players will let them know. Ask Kieran Trippier. Trippier
I think you've got to Simeone's a winner because he's been in a club that's put him in a position to win. Eddie Howe has only been in a position to win for 6 months because when he took over the club, we weren't in a position to win. Mm-hmm. And I think he's been put in a position to win now, just about, and we came a whisk away from winning. Next season we'll be stronger and be in a better position to win something, and he very well may do. And then what's the point of swapping? Everyone's saying, oh, if such and such became available, would you have him? My answer to everyone every time is no. Until the Eddie Howe starts getting us towards the relegation fight, you stay with him because he's building the club, he's building the playing stuff, the style. He's improved numerous players. He's going to get better players to work with who are going to get better.
Plays good football.
There's no need to ask, or if such and such becomes available, it's a moot point because we're not interested. So it's not really worth answering because the answer is no.
Yeah, very true, very true. Eddie Howe's our manager, and we just got by with it sort of thing. But I trust the Saudis. Eddie is a perfect guy for Newcastle United. We go through his comments there. I can't believe some of our fan base say replaceable already. Not me, Sefton, not me. But you're absolutely right. Eddie is our manager for as long as he wants it. Come on, the end of the season, we finished 10th. Do you stick with Eddie? Well, he's our manager.
Just answer that question.
Thank you, Gareth. Thank you, Gareth. No problem. Thanks, Chess. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Back again tomorrow on Wednesday. Change of manager may not go well for some players. And if however left in the future, Simeone would be the near the fundamentals, horrible style of play, but gets the job done. Other clubs would hate it even more. Let's get rid of the man who gave us the best defense record in my lifetime. That's
probably in the club's history.
Wow. That's where you're going to end it there. And thanks so much indeed, chat. I really appreciate that. Thanks for Truls for donation, Mr. Football News for becoming a member. And Rory, can you give us a shout out, please, mate?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pols67. If you follow me, I'll follow you back.
Yes, absolutely right. And if you follow my channel as well, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Facebook, on Insta. I'm on Facebook, social media, and also on YouTube as well. Just hit us up as well. I'll follow you back as well. And I've got a special guest on Wednesday. It's also fan Lottie's coming on Wednesday, and we're going to be discussing Newcastle and Arsenal season as well. She wants to come on my show. We're collaborating as well, which I think is great. And I'm sure her Arsenal fans will be joining the chat as well. So she has an amazing show. Lots of love, please. And we should be back tomorrow and probably do the transfer update news tomorrow. May as well for the season. And guys, just one more here from Foxy. Football's on digital. How could get better or worse? As of now, you can't call him for being at a 3-league defeats. Exactly. Listen, thanks very much indeed. I will do backstage quickly, Rory. And whatever you decide to do, guys, have a fantastic evening. Whatever you decide to do, I'll be back tomorrow. And please hit the like, subscribe, and also super chat. Also become a member as well. And I had a coffee. I love him. Not a chance. It'd be nice, but I can't see it. But until then, guys, enjoy the evening. Whatever you decide to do, it's a goodbye.